Hey, what's up, clever investors? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Cody Sperber, and I'm excited that you're here. We got Ryan Pineda back with us again. Today, we're going to be talking about building a personal brand, dominating on YouTube, smashing reels out of the park, and scaling your following to be able to parlay that into building a massive empire. For those of you that don't know Ryan, go check out his YouTube channel. I'll put the link down in the description below, but you have over 1.5 million followers. How long you been doing the content creation game?
I would say for about maybe 2.5 years.
Okay, 2.5 years, one of the most consistent guys in the game, just a content creation machine. Now, first off, before you say anything, he's good looking, he has the hair of a god. He's just one of those guys that like you look at and you're like, okay, I could see why you're on video. However, it doesn't matter what you look like. His consistency is what won him the prize, okay? And even though this is a real estate channel, I'm telling you guys, I have made so much money building a personal brand. This is what sales and marketing are some of my favorite topics. So if you're watching this, stick around and pay attention, take notes, and mirror exactly what Ryan is doing. Because it's just gonna be straight fire for the next 10 minutes. First off, how do you get started building a personal brand? Where do you start first? Do I have to go buy tons of We're in Ryan's office, by the way. I'm here in Las Vegas. I don't even know how many tens of $1 millions have been pumped out of this one studio.
A lot of stuff.
But do I need to have all this fancy stuff?
No, absolutely not. And to go to your point that you said right at the beginning, as far as how you look, how you speak, what you do, look, people always will have an excuse for why they can't get started, why they're not good enough, why they won't succeed. And as you know, and I know, in real estate, it's not true. You can start with no money. You don't need a rich uncle. Anybody can make it. And the same is true with building a personal brand. If you go look at all the YouTubers today, majority of them are ugly. Like, that's the case. Like, I'm not even I'm just telling you how it is. They're just very talented at what they do. So I don't think looks, you're living and breaking by your looks. So that's number one. Number two, as far as equipment goes, literally, oh man, I don't have my phone. I was gonna pull out my phone, but
you can pretend with mine. This is what you need.
That is literally all you need.
All right.
The iPhones are so good now that if you put your iPhone and you bought a little tripod for it and you filmed, you would get great video. People could barely tell the difference between that and these super expensive cameras that I have. The only other thing I would get is just a lav mic that you could plug in your phone, something like this, for those of you watching. That way you get good audio. So you'll have good video. You buy a $20 lav mic on Amazon, you got good audio now.
Maybe a good light.
A good light. You can go buy a light for $50 on Amazon. You buy a little tripod for $20. Your set's done for $100.
You're done. And would you say, so once you have the equipment, is it just consistency?
Yeah.
Just pumping out content?
Yeah.
Is it pumping out content on all channels? Like, because sometimes it feels overwhelming. I know when people come up to me, they're like, I see you on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on Snap, you're on da-da-da. Are we trying to dominate all channels, or are we just trying to create great content, and then what's the plan?
I think, for me anyways, I'm a big believer in volume, that you don't need to be perfect making one just perfect video. I think when you're starting out, it's about volume, testing, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. The more videos you make, the better you get at making videos. You start speaking better, your camera presence gets better, you start making them more efficient. So I think you need to get as many repetitions in as you can. Now, as far as what platform to pick, this is gonna depend on what your whole goal for the content is, right? I know a lot of people that only do YouTube and they kill it. I know a lot of people who only do LinkedIn or Twitter and they kill it, because the audience on Twitter and LinkedIn is totally different than YouTube and TikTok. And so it really depends what you're trying to do with your personal brand, and in a business, who are you trying to sell to? So in our case, as real estate investors, to me, the two biggest platforms for us are YouTube and Instagram. I think those are the two biggest. Now, I have a big TikTok, and that's great, but I don't believe TikTok makes me as much money as those two for my businesses, okay? So I think if you focus on one platform that you know is relevant to your business, you'll do really well. Now, I'll take it a step further and say, 2 years ago, when I first started YouTube, I was under the belief that YouTube was the golden goose. I said, You got to make YouTube videos. That is better than anything else because YouTube has SEO, it has evergreenness, people can always look up your stuff, and I still believe that's really important today. But since then, short form content, the TikToks, the Reels, the YouTube Shorts have dominated. Like people like that stuff more. And so for me, if I was advising someone today, I would say get really good at that short form content, the TikTok style vertical content. Mainly because that's what people want, but also you can be known on all platforms with that. That same video can be put on TikTok, it can be put on IG, it can be put on YouTube Shorts. So you're now hitting every platform with that style of video. I think it's easier to make. It's 30 to 60 seconds. It's not 10 minutes like a YouTube or an hour like a podcast. So I would focus on getting really good at that.
All right, so walk me through your content creation process. So are you filming every single day? You have people following you around? Is this something where you have like a 5-hour content marathon and you just pump it out? Like what does that look like?
Let me walk through how I've progressed over the years versus tell you where I'm at today. Because like most people watching this, I didn't have a following, okay? So when TikTok first started getting popular in early 2020, business guys like us weren't on it. We're like, dude, TikTok's for kids. I thought it was very interesting because I started watching it and I said, this is like super addicting content. I think that this is gonna be big. Gary Vee was saying it was gonna be big. I said, I'm just gonna listen. So I started making TikToks. What I did every morning for an entire year was I filmed 2 TikToks a day on my phone. I filmed it, I edited it, I did everything. I didn't have any other team. I didn't have a fancy like go watch my oldest TikToks. It's me in my kitchen every morning doing it. And what that did was it helped me get, I think in my first year, I got 400,000 followers with that method, no professional help. And I got really good at making TikToks because I had trained myself 700 times, right? So that's what I did at the beginning. I also started doing YouTube in conjunction with that. And so I would do my YouTube videos. What I would do is I would do bulk filming. So every Monday, I would go film 3 or 4 YouTube videos just like this one. And I would just block off Monday. Nobody could talk to me Monday. Let's just knock these videos out and I'll get to the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday. And then Wednesdays, I would do podcast. You were just on my podcast. I filmed 2 podcasts every Wednesday and that's it. That was my schedule for a long time. And I probably did that for year and a half, right? Eventually, I started to repurpose my content. And so I'd have editors go watch my podcast, take the best clips, and turn them into Reels and TikToks. And that way, I didn't have to film them anymore. It was amazing. And it was just taking stuff that was there. It was on autopilot. Cost a lot of money, but the attention was worth it. And so I started doing that for about a year, and I was like, this is great. Well, now today, we've kind of made a little switch in the last like month or 2. And I like this even more just where I'm at today because it's less filming for me. Essentially now I just do vlogs. So I have somebody follow me around at the office all day. We release 2 vlogs a week on my YouTube. I repurpose a couple of my podcasts for YouTube. I just take the best clips from interviews and make them into a 10-minute video. And then I'll only film 1 YouTube video a week. So whatever that may be, I might be walking a house flip, I might be gonna go into a business, something, right? So I only have to film 1 YouTube video a week. I film 2 podcasts a week, and I don't have that big Monday anymore. I get to go work, and they film me working, and it's getting great traction, great results. And then the last thing I do is, even though we repurpose majority of my content for Reels and TikTok, I still will film direct to camera TikToks, where I'll just film 1 day a month. It takes me like 4 or 5 hours. I'll knock out 30 videos for TikTok. And then my team gets it. They repost 1 of them a day for the month.
So you built up that stamina because that is, it actually is easier for you now, but it's still a lot, right? Yeah. So, I mean, but think about what Ryan is doing for his businesses, not just business. His brand, even though it took him 2 years, by being that consistent for so long, that marketing firepower empowers all the sales, not all this, but a lot of the money that comes into all your businesses, a lot of like the money that you raise, a lot of like, you just launched an NFT, able to sell that out right away. I mean, like, you now have built this marketing machine that allows you to have this firepower. And he started at 0.
Right.
With an iPhone. like, think about how your life can change over the next 2 years if you build a personal brand like Ryan did. This is why I want to shoot this video. Now, what's your posting schedule? Okay, how often are we posting?
Well, today it's just pure volume. Like, it's crazy what we do today. When I first started, let's relate it back to where we get today. I said I want to do 2 YouTubes a week. So I filmed 2 YouTube videos a week. That was a lot of work. My wife actually edited my videos. So, because this was during COVID, like nobody could go anywhere. I would film them at my kitchen table. She would edit them. She was pregnant at the time too. And that was what we did. So she did the YouTubes. I filmed the TikToks 2 a day and just released them that same day on my phone. And that was the schedule. Eventually, when the world opened back up, I got back to the office. I said, let's do 3 a week, right? Then I said, let's do 4, let's do 5. I got all the way up to 7. And I was like, 1 a day. I was like, that's a lot. But then you think there are YouTubers who do like 3 a day.
Did you see your volume drop, or like, because like as a consumer, like maybe of your content, if you post twice a week, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, every Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday, I know he drops. But all of a sudden it starts ramping up to every day. Did you feel at any point in time, like when you're paying attention, like, wow, my views are dropping?
Yeah, I mean, basically what happens is there's always the quality over quantity thing. So if you release a large volume, your views are going to go down per video. But when you look at the total of the views, it's higher.
It's way higher.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up because I know how I am. Sometimes I get a little self-conscious if like I put out a video and it like doesn't do very good, or I put out like 3 in a row and all 3 of them like kind of suck, and you're like, oh man, I'm not very good at this. But it's just really because you're putting out more content consistently.
I don't even know what videos we post because we post so many today, and it just doesn't, honestly, I don't look at it. So if a video flops, I'm like, whatever, we got 3 more coming right now. So it just doesn't matter. But for today, I don't know many people who post more than me. We post 6 reels a day on Instagram. I post probably 10 stories a day on it. So I mean, that's 16 posts on Instagram alone. YouTube, we have...
Are you building them in Reels, or are you pre-editing them and then uploading them to Reels?
Yep, we upload everything, right? And then we have at least usually 2 YouTube videos a day, because I have 3 channels now. I have my channel, my podcast channel, and then the Future Flipper channel, strictly for real estate. And so across those, we've got usually 2 a day, I would say.
That's a ton. That's amazing.
And then we post on TikTok. Now I just got into posting on LinkedIn and Facebook. I ignored those platforms for years, but now I'm posting there. So I don't even know how many pieces of content. It's got to be at least 50 to 100 pieces a day. So
what advice would you give people for like trying to come up with like headlines and thumbnails for like their YouTube channel? Is there a formula for that? Like, and the second follow-up question is, sometimes do you post and then if it doesn't do really well, you switch it out with something else?
Yeah. I learned that from my buddy Graham Stephan, but I've heard Mr. Beast say this as well. Most people, when they try to create a video, they think of an idea and they're like, oh, that's a cool idea, I'm gonna talk about it. So they talk about it and they do it, and then they say, okay, what's the title of this video gonna be? What's the thumbnail gonna be? Well, the best creators do the opposite. They think of viral thumbnails and viral titles, and then they say, okay, let me back from there and make the video around this. And that is the key to success, at least actually that's the key to success with really any of the platforms. Because if you're on YouTube, the first thing they're looking at is that thumbnail. Then they're saying, oh, what is this about? And they see the title. If they don't get past that, they never see how good the video was. So that
doesn't matter if you have a 10-minute fire video.
Dude, the video could be so good, but it doesn't matter. And that's
all like every one of my videos, by the way. So good.
Crappy thumbnail.
Nobody's watching.
Yep, and it goes back to your thumbnail and your title. That's literally the only reason. So I think you have to reverse it like a marketer, and you're a marketer, so you know this. Like the product, I always say this: the best marketer wins, not the best product. So your video might be way better than everyone else's, but if your packaging sucked and nobody ever went to go see it.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
So do you every once in a while, like if it's not doing very good, switch out the thumbnail?
Yeah, there will be times where
a day or 2 in, like you just switch it out?
Well, most people do it within the first hour. That's how most YouTubers do it. They'll say, hey, if I don't like where this is going in the first 30 minutes, they'll try and switch it and see if they can get it back up.
Got it.
Because after an hour, YouTube kind of knows if that video is viral or not. Because the way YouTube works, and this is, I'm not sure if it's changed anytime since, but they basically are always doing A/B testing of your video against somebody else's, right? And so they're able to see with their AI which video gets clicked. So what happens is yours gets clicked against somebody else's, and then it moves up to the winner of one that got clicked, right? And it keeps going up and up and up. And if it keeps getting clicked over all these other videos, then it's gonna go viral.
Got it.
Yeah.
Should you put ads on in your videos, or in the beginning turn all the ads off?
Well, if you're just starting a channel, you're not even able to monetize or do ads. So it's not even a choice. But once you're able to monetize, you should totally put ads on. I mean, obviously it's free money. If you don't, YouTube is gonna run ads anyway and take all the money. So there's not a way to even turn ads off, period.
Oh, so you might as well partake in a piece. Do you make good AdSense revenue?
Dude, I mean, it's so little compared to what I make in everything else, but I would say between the channels, I might make like 12 grand a month.
I mean, for some people, that's a lot of money.
I mean,
like, that's just extra cheddar on top of all the other business that you're doing. Yeah, I got one video, a wholesaling video, that literally, since 12 years ago, has been like one of the #1 wholesaling videos in the country. And every single month, it prints me about $500.
Oh, really?
Every month.
How many views does it have?
Huh?
How many views does it have?
I don't know, maybe 900,000, 800,000 or something like that. But it just is like this little steady engine that can.
I've always said this. I go, you know, this is like digital real estate in that you make a video, it's like a little rental property. Like if it's legit and evergreen, it's gonna cash flow you every month.
Now, are you connecting your videos together? Like, is there any other tips or tricks you would share with people on like, hey guys, look, one of the things that really like pushed us ahead was we built these playlists, or in each video we connect them together so they...
I know like there are people who do that, which I would call a compilation.
Well, think about it. Like if my average view on a video, because they give you all your analytics, is 6 minutes or 5 minutes, I know at the 4-minute and 50-second mark, I gotta like have a little pop-up that says go to another video. Otherwise, they might get off the train.
Yeah.
Right? Or am I thinking of it too strategically?
You can see on the chart when there's a drop off in the video, but what that basically tells you is you should have found a way for that video to end quicker. So like what the best creators will do is they'll like their goal is to have their retention be just like pretty straight. It's impossible. You're always gonna have this thing, but what most people do is they start high and then like you said, it falls off, but there's still time to go. So that tells you that whatever happened at that point should have been the end of the video. And so a lot of creators will essentially just end very abruptly. Instead of being like, you know, you're like, hey, I got 3 points to give you. You give all 3 points, and then you talk for another 5 minutes
and
after.
Wind it down, yeah.
You know, and you're like, yeah, and by the way, you know, so you really wait for them to get the juice, and then it ends.
Got it. So you need to get when you see people falling off, that's about the length of what your videos should be.
Yep.
Got it. Any other tips or tricks? Platforms, hacks?
You know, I don't think I see people doing these like hacks and different things. Like I'll see people on TikTok or Reels, like they'll post them and then they'll like touch the camera or do something weird, and then it'll be like some viral clip of like totally nothing to do with them. And that is a way to get views, no doubt about it, but they're not gonna be like good views. So for me, I've always avoided that. I've always been like, this is me, and I want people to watch a lot of stuff of me, period. Like I want it to be true engagement where they're like, yeah, Ryan's legit. Like I saw what I saw from him, and they'll become a raving fan. So I would say a lot of the hacks you see, I personally don't do them because I think while it can give you a big boost momentarily, it's not like a long run play. I also think that the main thing you need to think about with all videos is the first, in YouTube's case, 30 seconds, and in TikTok's case, the first 2 seconds. Because if you hook them in and you get them to stay past those benchmarks, they're gonna watch the whole video. That's the stats. So when you asked me about like average watch time, if you have a 12-minute video and 6 minutes is the average, typically what's happening is people leave after a minute and people stay the whole video, right? And that averages out to what it is. So if you can get people to stay past a minute and you can get people to watch your reel for after 5 seconds, then you should be gold. They should watch the rest of it. So you got to get really good hooks and really make people see that maybe there's a carrot towards the end of the video that they need to stay for.
All right. Wise words. Well, get out there and start creating content. You got a long way to go. I know even for me, at one point I was doing 3 YouTube videos a week, and I fell off when we moved buildings and I was rebuilding my studio. I got to step back up, dude.
Do it. It's never too late.
We're launching a podcast too, guys. It's going to be coming out here soon, the Clever Investor Show. We'll have Ryan on that here shortly. But like I said at the beginning of this video, if you want to follow Ryan, go to @RyanPineda. I will drop the link down in the description down below. He puts out tons of great content, has tons of channels, a lot of cool stuff going on, so go support him. And yeah, get your content game on. That's all we got for you in this video. Until next time, we're out of here. Take care, comb your hair. Peace.